Okay, so
Yes. I'm doing this for my digital storytelling class, and I wanted to interview you.
Thank you for that opportunity.
Yes, you really enjoy it. Okay.
Some milk.
Milky Wilky. Yeah. I'm interviewing for my digital storytelling class. And I'm doing this because I want to get practice at interviews.
Okay.
So. You're head of the WSU Health Advisory.
Council.
Yes, thank you. What is that? If you could give me a quick description.
Well, so we serve as kind of like a liaison between the student body and Cougar Health Services. So our university really wanted a good representatives of the student body to voice the opinions of the student body and the concerns with our healthcare system on campus, which we didn't have really before other than individual complaints. But we want systematic sort of problems to be solved. And so that's why we formed this committee. So it's a communication, health
Nice.
communication and professionalism sort of committee.
Okay. And so that feels like a really good resource for students to have.
Right, exactly.
So what do you do specifically for this council?
Yeah, so I'm the chair of the Health Advisory Committee, and I've been a voting member the prior 2 years to this year, and so we vote on issues and initiatives to go forward and actions in solving issues, say with budgeting, a lot of budgeting to 5-year budget plans that we are making. Where do we put our resources, essentially? That's a lot of what we're doing lately. Also working with Cougar Health Services to update their communication systems as well. They want feedback from the students to say, hey, how do we connect with the students the most efficient way?
So you're the leader of this kind of organization. And I know that I've seen you in actually a couple other interviews. And so I was wondering, like, do you get interviewed a lot for it?
Specifically for this group, not too often. I do get kind of interviewed through email. That's kind of it's formal but not informal person, not even over the phone sort of thing. A lot of people have questions and comments about what this committee is actually about.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know that it even exists, right? Past that, I've had a lot of students in the Murrow College of Communications do interviews, practicing a lot. 2 years ago, my fall semester 2017, I believe, I did one on mental health then. 2018. And so that was a student in the Murrow College who recently graduated. But a lot of the interviews that I do give are either practice for actual classes or through this committee and really wanting to know what it's about.
Okay. And so as a person who is being interviewed, like as an interviewee, how do you view the process? Like,
I think the process is very individualized. I've given interviews myself too, so the whole holistic view of what interviews really are is knowing that sometimes you come in with questions that you want to really ask these people that you're interviewing, and then on the spot you just come up with questions that you've never really even thought of. So you have to be really adaptable in interviews. So it's really about adaptability and communication skills.
Okay, so it's a very organic kind of process that you can't really predict until you're actually in the situation.
Right,
Okay,
right. I
awesome.
think people, quote unquote, psych themselves out because it's difficult. It's a lot of pressure to go in, especially if it's like a job interview. You want to
Mhm.
do well,
Yeah.
especially if it's something you're really, really passionate about going into your career, not just any job, but your career. You want to do well. You want to impress the people who are essentially judging you, right?
Right. Yeah.
Off of your abilities and your experiences and how you can actually explain those things. And that's the emphasis. It doesn't really say much about the person being interviewed if they are rejected. It just
Mhm.
means you weren't the right person. And I
Yeah.
think people really need to take that into consideration. You're not useless just because you can't be used in one area.
Right. Okay. That's awesome. Well, and I feel like it's very important to kind of like know both sides of like how to do an interview, and I think that's cool that you've seen like the Murrow College communications like come through and like ask you to do stuff. Like that's some pretty interesting things, and it's nice to know that we have people like practicing that kind of stuff. I know that you have interviewed people personally, and so how does it feel to like actually do an interview?
I think it's really
Like,
exciting. I get to meet new people. I'm personally very extroverted and I love to talk. So it's just already rewarding there, right? But every single person is a different person. And I
mhm.
think every single interview you have opportunities to learn about just human experiences in
Yeah.
general and how people can make connections between their past experiences and apply it to new situations in which you're looking for in completely new ways. It really accentuates being open
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome though. Okay,
minded.
cool. Well, and that answered a lot of my questions because I'm not quite sure where I want to go with this video, like the whole documentary.
Terry.
Documentary. But I know that being able to communicate effectively is essentially what we're practicing with it. And so that's why I was going to ask you some questions about, like interviewing and being the interviewee, like those two sides of the same coin, and how there is a certain pressure to it, but also it can be really cool to see the different human experiences. Cool. That's all I wanted to ask. Yeah.
That's good. Wow. I literally went into my mode and I'm like, oh,